G'day YouTube, welcome to another video. Yes, I finally got a haircut. It's been like months and I've been lazy, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what's the next of things to do. So now that I've got the transmission sorted, I'm now going to try and attempt to mount the long-awaited oil cooler, just to keep things a bit more cooler, you know, performance wise. I've now got the gauge set up. It's sitting around 95 if I, you know, step on it a bit. 95 degrees Celsius, that is. But yeah, this is what is it, 1 2 3 6, I think this is like a 12 or 13 row cooler that we did a small group buy for a company called Bartek in Germany. They do pretty quality stuff. That's the oil cooler. There's some fittings and hardware in here. You've got the thermostat sandwich plate that just goes to the factory oil cooler. That's the adapter for it. And then you've got some AN fittings. So I've never worked on any AN fitting I guess equipment before, so I just played around with fitting one of these AN fittings hoses to the coupler, and yeah, it was a pain in the ass, but I got it done, and you know, it's a nice little learning curve. So yeah, I got that done. Just so I know what I'm getting myself into. I don't know what these are, but it's probably for a different type of fitting, which, you know, comes with some other things in there which we probably won't need to use. There's some brackets which we'll definitely use, and some other fittings in here as well, for a different type of setup. But we're going to go full AN on this one. I am going to, I think, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Don't really know what's going on with that. But it's going to be interesting. Alright, so it comes with the cooler, comes with the hoses, comes with the AN fittings, couplers, like so, and a few other bits and pieces in there. So what I'm going to do first is take the grill off, take the bar off, and then figure out, I think it's going to sit on this side. It's going to, intercooler is going to stick out, hose is going to stick out sore thumb. It's going to stick out like sore thumb, but the only reason why I'm putting it on that side is because I've got another factory grill that's actually hollow that will send air through where it's normally blocked out. Now I've got a spare one for whatever reason, but you can put yours on the other side if you want. I'm running an R32 flat bar, so that's why I'm going to go that side. But yeah, I'm going to take the bar off and start it off, see where I can mount it. Alrighty, so I think I worked it out. These hardware fittings, I think goes on like that with the two washers, and then it goes on to the outlet of the oil cooler, just like that. So that's how that's going to sit. That's how I'm going to tighten it on, and then it's going to be yeah, tighten it on with the AN fitting. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I think these bended ones are going to be for the sandwich plate, like that. Yep, it's definitely for the sandwich plate. But yeah, that's all good to know. Yeah, I am now going to, I might have to jack the car up for this. Oh. Alrighty, so I've got the bar off, but I did a bit more than just taking the bar off. And to take the bar off, you got to get the grill undone. There's 3, 5 T30 torques, 3 or 4 T20s on each side, and maybe some in the grills and some at the bottoms. Bar comes off. Have a Google of that. But I've actually started mocking up where I think I want the oil cooler to go. It's going to be on the right hand side of the car, driver's side for you know, Japanese, UK, Australian viewers, and passenger side for the States and everywhere else. So yeah, I've managed to just rig something up with some alloy brackets that I had lying around from just spares in the shed, and I think I'm just gonna have the hoses, one coming from there down there, one looping under the intercooler pipe, or perhaps going through there, but that's a bit dangerous because I don't want it to hit the pulley. But maybe I can zip tie it out of the way. And at some stage I want to kind of fix this bracket too for the intercooler pipe. Just get it re-welded to give it a bit more rigidity. But yeah, I'm thinking to loop it under the intercooler pipe. I think is the safest bet. And over there, but I'll see how I go. It's not set in stone yet. I've just what I've done here, just to explain, is use the existing brackets already there, or existing 10mm holes. So there's 2 up there for the original intercooler and 1 over there. I've just reused it, mounted on the side. They say not to mount this upside down. The side's okay, or top is okay. I don't know what the reasoning behind what Bartek says, but yeah, I'm gonna, hopefully that should be good. I'm gonna tighten everything up and perhaps reinforce this bottom section a bit more. But yeah, I think that's where it's gonna sit. There's gonna be some airflow coming from the vent to the back, and yeah, that should cool down the oil going into the oil cooler, the original oil cooler and the oil filter. So what's next? I've already started, I've chopped up the AN fittings here. I've put on the AN fittings, well, tested both these sides, that they seem okay. You just, pretty much, what do I do here? I've just done this all the way to the, pretty much take this lid off, and I used like a plumber's wrench to just get it on gently. So take that off, pop it in. I did have to cut the frilly bits off the side using scissors, but yeah, you just pop that on as far in as you can. Hold it so it's actually pressed in with your hands, and then this side here will slide into the hose like that, and it'll press it out towards the AN lid bit majiggy, and as you're tightening it in, it'll press it against the walls. So that's going to create the press fit that will seal the hose. So that's going to go on the other side somehow. I'm just going to measure the hoses up first before I commit to cutting it and making sure that the hose is not too long. And that side here, that's going to go I did not know this, but the if you're wondering if you need an Allen socket of some sort, this doubles up as an Allen socket. See, 70mm. I bought one that was incorrect size, so I had to have a look. But yeah, that's digressing here. That's going to go onto the sandwich plate, oil sandwich plate there. That's already pre-fitted, and that's going to go on the just where the oil cooler is and seal. It's got rubber bits there. That's going to seal against the oil cooler. I think I'm going to have it sticking up to the front of the car, sorry, like that. This is going to go underneath and tightening like that. There you go. That's going to tighten and screw it on and fit on the and press it against the original oil cooler. And yeah, that's it. So, and then just all of it, the rest of it is just tightening up the hoses. I'm going to zip tie it as you know, towards the chassis where I can, just out of the way, and just make it so I can access the oil filter without having to remove a whole bunch of hoses. So right now, that's the filter location. But yeah, a couple of other guys that I know have bought the same kit, a little bit bigger, and access to their engines because they've got a VR6. Talking about you, Jad, you know, you don't have a lot of access at the front, so I'm hoping I can get all this done without having to remove the front end clip. Sorry, front end clip. But looks like I can get underneath the car, undo the filter. I've got the socket, I think, to put it on. That's fine, and then I'll pop the filter back on. So let's see how we go. Yeah, I think the hardest part is finding out where you can actually mount the oil cooler. You can put it there, you can put it on the front here. I've got an intercooler already that I have made some brackets for and bolted it into the crash bar, which sits really close into towards the condenser. You can even put it on this side too, but I can't really see any brackets. I'd have to make my own brackets, and plus there's no airflow coming from this side anyway. That's completely blocked off from factory. So the best bet here is to replace this with a honeycomb one that allows airflow, and there's a version for that, and have it yeah, cooling down the oil cooler. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start measuring the hose now and show you how I do it. Alrighty guys, I'm back again. I've ooh, it's a bit blurry. We're dropping the oil now as we speak. It was time for an oil change anyway, about 3,000-4,000 Ks. About to drop the filter. We're now going to measure how long these cabling needs to be. So I'm going to now just loosely put these on and see where to go from there. I've already slightly cut it already, but I'm going to put it on just like that. It's not snug at all. I'm going to try and feed it where I think it's going to fit. None of these things are snug. I'm just going to pop it on just to see how I can route the hoses. So it's going to go to the bottom, I think, and oil is slowly coming down. Drain for a bit more. I'm going to get the oil filter off, but I'm going to just measure up and see how far exactly this needs to be. So I'll do that, mock it up, and maybe even zip tie where I think it's going to be, because it has to come up under there and go into the oil filter which you can't really see. Alrighty, so the route I'm going to take is through the intercooler pipe. I'm going to route it into the bottom part of the radiator support, and then it's going to duck inside and point up. So this is going to be interesting, but I just thought I'd try and film this. What I'm doing to get these on, because I've never done any of this before, but I'm going to trim the sides because it's too thick. It's not going to go in. Leaving the rubber exposed, or just trimming it right back so that any of the extras aren't going to be in the way of me pressing it in to. Right, bit fluffy here, so trim that back. Okay, there you go. Alright, now like I said earlier, we're going to undo this all the way. We're going to pop this in and turn as much as we can. Get that, get my trusty mechanics wrench, and what you're going to do here is we're going to press it and just give it pressure as you're turning it in. And hopefully it doesn't push. I'm going to need the special tool here. I think that's in. Do a test, try and pull it out. If you can pull it out, then something's wrong. Start again. Well, that's not, oh man, that's not going anywhere. I think that's got a seal on it. Alrighty, so I've got all that in place, kind of. And now I'm going to attempt to install the other bits. Now I don't know why there's an extra 4 washers, unless we need a washer. I don't think we need a washer in between all this. I think that's going to seal. Let's see how. Does this need a washer? I don't think so. But anyway, I'll get under the car now and I'll show you what I mean. I really should have bought AN fitting. Let me remove this and just show you. So that is the oil cooler. I need to tuck all this in and possibly install it before I install the oil cooler. I think that's going to be the plan, I think, because there's not going to be enough leverage down there. So I'm going to tuck both of these bad boys up here, I think. I don't know where it's going to go, but let me just figure it out and come back. Alrighty, so I've got it in, the plate that's installed on top or below the oil cooler, and what I've done is I've actually tightened the hoses up onto the plate, because if you look at how much space I've got to work with, there's no way in hell I'm going to get everything tightened up properly up there with a monkey wrench. So yeah, that's how it's going to look temporarily, or even, you know, like that. I'm going to get some zip ties now, but I think I can just pop the oil filter on now and pretty much call it a day if it fits. Fingers crossed. Alright, so let me zoom out. That's all zip tied out of the way. There you go. Goes in there. Goes up there. And into the sandwich plate. So that's all nice and tight and snug, I hope. Right, that's a brand new one. Let's pop it. My word. Okay, so that's on. That barely covers everything. Nothing's touching. But yeah, I'm gonna show you the setup again. It goes into there, and tucks under there. Access holes, and that's all onto that oil cooler. So that is that, and that's the old oil. I'm going to go ahead and grab some oil. My word. Okay, so that's on. That barely covers everything. Nothing's touching. But yeah, I'm going to show you the setup again. It goes into there, and tucks under there. Access holes, and that's all onto that oil cooler. So that is that. Alright, just quickly eyeball that there's no leaks. That looks okay so far. No leaks from anywhere. I've topped up the oil, and now I'm going to crank the car. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to unplug the injectors, unplug the ignition amp, and give it just crank the car. Here we go. Turn off the lights. Now check again for any leaks. Fingers crossed that nothing's coming out. And it isn't, so that's good. All the stuff that might be on the ground. Okay, don't wanna. That looks good. So far, looks good. Alright, so there's no leaks I can see. So I'm going to, yeah, I don't know, fire up the car and see what happens. Alright, it's always alright. It's probably a zip tie. Yeah, so I think I've got a zip tie. Side is curled down. Try again. your front bar and all that stuff. But really, for the GTI guys, 180T, I had it on this side. I've just reused the bracket holes. I'm not reinventing the wheel. That is there, and that's not, you know, that's not going anywhere. And all of the AN lines seem to be sealing so far. Yeah, I can't see any leaks. So yeah, I'm going to call that a win. I need to give it a test drive now. That's pretty much it. I got the kit from Bartek. It was in Germany. Really great brand. I haven't seen any other oil coolers to compare it to, but the quality is so good. They're about 360 to 380 Australian to ship, delivered. And yeah, great company. So be sure to check them out. We decided to go with Bartek because it looked like they had some quality stuff there, and we wanted to make sure there was a thermostat in there where it cracks open at about 80-90 degrees. It'll close off and only open up when it's warm. So so far so good. I want to maybe leave this on so that it's nice and warm. I might turn off the aircon so that the fans aren't cooling too much. But yeah, that's off. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's the end of the install. If you like this video, be sure to hit like, subscribe if you haven't. But yeah, the aim is to build up the car slowly and show everyone along the way what I've done to and how I've done it. So doesn't mean it's the right way, it's just the way that works for me, for my car. So I will leave you with that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers!